I am here today with author Lorenzo Barr. He is the author of the newly published book, The Effect of Divorce on Children Under the Age of 18. Thank you so much, Lorenzo, for joining us today. Why don't you just start by telling us a little bit about your book?
Hi, everyone. As you have already introduced me, my name is Lorenzo Barr. I am the author of The Effect of Divorce on Children Under the Age of 18. Well, I would just give you a little brief overview of the book. And this book is an eye-opener. I've done a lot of research. As you all are aware out there, that divorce is a serious thing and is really affecting our nation and the entire world. And divorce has a lot of effects that you sometimes don't even know that you are carrying those effects, and parents does not even realize when they are going through divorce that it's going to affect their children like this. So I wrote this book to be an eye-opener and for people out there to know what if divorce does to the family and what divorce does to our kids. And for us to be very careful when we marry, we should stay in the marital context, especially what the Bible says that one marriage is a covenant between man and his wife and God. So I am really looking forward for a lot of people to read this book and to get to know what divorce is and what it does, especially, and to see and to have a conscience of having a settlement and not to get divorced.
And you did mention, the several, many effects of divorce, especially on children under the age of 18. Would you mind maybe listing one or two of those effects that you've been able to study about in your book?
Yeah, I did, and I will. And you see, for one of two of the effects, I would start with the girls. It makes girls to shut down. It put our girls' children into depression. It makes them to be in a state of fear because their father or their mother have betrayed their trust, and it becomes a trust issue for girls. And they are very skeptical of any gentleman that will approach them in the future and say, I want you to be my wife, because they will have serious trust issues, and they will have anger, they will have the shutdown spirit in them, and they will do things that they don't want to do. But most times in our English language, we say become promiscuous.
Absolutely. And what kind of inspired you to put pen to paper and get this book published?
I love this question. What can I inspire me? My life. That really inspired me. And I see that you on the other end and you're smiling, you're looking at me, because I lived through divorce my entire life. My parents were divorced and I was a baby, and they got divorced. And all my life, I knew my mother to be my mother, and I knew my mother to be my father. And she had 7 children and living on a very minimum salary, and she took care of us. Never knew that this thing called divorce has a great impact on children under the age of 18 until I started my education in college. And I did one of my undergrad programs because I got a few, and it was in psychology and specialized in Christian counseling. And we had an assignment and they had different topics. And this topic came out, I was like, whoa, divorce has effects. And I said I would write, I took that chapter, that topic, and started to write about it. And it was 15 pages paper. And I told my wife, I said, I will write a book on this. When I started to do research, I saw things that have happened in the family that have affected the family. And I was like, this is very important. I'm going to write about this thing, and I'm going to enhance the book after the first one is launched. That's what really motivated me to write about divorce and the effect that it has on children under the age 18, because I lived through it. And I just want my audience to know that I'm not just writing it for a fantasy, but I'm writing it because I feel what you feel. And I've been through what you have been through, or what you are going through, or what you may go through. And I'm there with you to encourage you to have faith in God and to seek counseling, not just counseling, but Christian counseling. It helps us very much.
Absolutely. It's such a powerful story, Lorenzo. And last question for you today is, if you were to leave your audience with one or a couple little nuggets about your book, really what you want to get across to them as to why they should pick it up, what would you say to them?
I would say to my audience, rush and get this book and see what's in it. And you will learn things that you have never knew before. As I said in the opening, this book is an eye-opening book. And I want to leave with my audience that this book is not just for married couples. It's for people who are prospective married couples, people who are married couples, people who are going through divorce right now, people who have gone through divorce, and children who have experienced divorce in the family from the age of 15, and we're looking all the way to 70. I want to tell you that take your marriage seriously and put God first into your marriage. And I want to tell you that when you get married, keep third party out of your marriage. Put God first, and somebody in the marriage has to be the bigger person. I give you an example. I always like to use myself to tell a story. And whenever my wife and I have a little misunderstanding, even if I know that my wife was wrong, but before the end of the day, I would talk to my wife and I would make peace and apologize from my heart to settle what has transpired earlier on. And then I would find a suitable time when we are maybe watching the movies or having a dinner and just say, I want to talk to you about something. And the way that you would talk to your spouse, it makes a difference in the marriage.
Wow. Thank you so much, Lorenzo, for your time and for your ability to write this book and get it on paper for people to read and to inspire those who are going through possible similar circumstances. And once again, Lorenzo's book is out now, The Effect of Divorce on Children Under the Age of 18. It comes in paperback, ebook, hardcover copies. You can find it on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Apple iTunes, and Google Play. Thank you so much, Lorenzo, for joining us today.
You're welcome. Thank you as well.